important for educators to have conversations about vaping with elementary students at different stages of their development. As elementary educators, we know that children's early learning experiences have a profound effect on their later development. This is why it is so important for students to learn basic health concepts such as the effects, risks, and consequences of vaping. Providing my students with this knowledge early on in their development enables them to make informed decisions and take more responsibility for their own health as they mature. But beyond the basic health facts associated with vaping, I also want to develop my students' social emotional learning skills. They will need to develop their coping and critical thinking skills to resist pressures they may face to engage in harmful behaviors like vaping. Teaching my students to identify and manage their emotions and recognize sources of stress, as well as coping and resiliency strategies, will equip them with the critical thinking and decision-making skills required to make informed decisions about their health.
My goal is to help students acquire the knowledge and skills they need to make decisions about their health, not only when they're learning with me, but also in their everyday experiences as they continue to grow and develop. This applies to all health concepts. When we talk about substances, such as vaping, we talk about it in a variety of contexts, both now and in their future, because I want students to make connections to their experiences beyond my classroom. I also want to set my students up for success during key transitions in their life, such as when they're leaving elementary school and heading to high school. If they have the knowledge and skills to navigate challenges and change related to situations involving vaping, then they will be better able to make informed, healthier decisions in the future.
Where is vaping addressed in the elementary health and physical education curriculum, and how might I make connections to the social, emotional learning skills? Vaping can be addressed as part of the overall expectations connected to the topic of substance use, addictions, and related behaviors. The overall expectations describe the types of skills and concepts that are required for healthy, active living at any age or stage of development and over time. Students may need to know about vaping and develop skills to respond to situations involving vaping at any grade and stage of their development in elementary school. So, the overall expectations provide an entry point to address the concepts of vaping as one of the broader health concepts and in response to students' needs. The topic of vaping is included in the specific expectations in grade 4 and 6 and referenced in the examples, teacher prompts, and student responses in other grades. The learning summary charts found in Appendix D, Healthy Living Learning Summary Key Topics, is a great place to start seeing the connections to vaping. In addition, conversations about vaping provide opportunities for students to build their social emotional learning skills. These conversations can help students identify the emotions they might experience in situations involving vaping, identify sources of stress and coping strategies, and build self-awareness. Students also learn communication and decision-making skills to make informed decisions about their own health and communicate their choices in situations that are relevant to their lives.
How do you create safer and more inclusive spaces when engaging students in conversations about vaping? Fundamental principle number 3 in health and physical education reminds us that both physical and emotional safety are preconditions for effective learning. When approaching conversations about any health concept, including vaping, it is important for me to create a safer and more inclusive learning environment by establishing guidelines so that we can have discussions in a space that is both accepting and respectful. As educators, it is important for us to reflect about our bias about substance use such as vaping. I also help my students understand and reflect about their bias when talking about topics related to substance use, including vaping. Asking reflective questions will allow students to think critically about what influences their values, attitudes, assumptions, and perspectives about substance use. I want my students to understand that even though we may have different backgrounds, influences, and viewpoints about topics, we all have the right to make our own choices about our health. To learn, we must be able to listen respectfully to each other and explore all sides of a topic to promote understanding.
So what are your next steps in building your confidence and competence to talk about vaping with your students? Consider viewing OPHEA's vaping webinars and recap blogs. Explore OPHEA's inquiry-based learning and implementation tools resources. Check out OPHEA's conversation starter videos to use with your students and OPHEA's Educator Guide to Vaping Education for links to activity plans, evidence-based fact sheets, and more.